Chapte Knights, Shining Knights, and our wild card Vedant here with us.
Thank you so much.
So the first good news we have for you is that we've decided to give all of you a little break and leave A.R. Shrikant out of this little interaction. He was dying to come and grill all of you even more, but see how all of you relaxed a little bit. But trust me, this lot, they are absolutely, this is the proper think tank. And let's maybe reiterate some of your points that you made. And we'll start with Raya. I don't know why you're wearing that yellow jersey. We should have thrown you out straight away. But nonetheless, we'll excuse you for that. And
No, in KKR only, just I got this thing in the wardrobe nearest, so I could pick it up. So it's not like I'm KKR only.
oh, Isha bole kichu chalbe na. You have to, no excuses here. Anyway, tell us about a couple of the key players that you remember from your team, and let the think tank here receive it and drill you on it.
Yeah, sure. So as I was telling sir on last day's introduction, so we picked up couple of major points before the team selection. So we consider the age factor because if any player is exiting age of 36, it would be difficult to consider the player for upcoming 3 years. So that's the main factor we have considered. Also about the players' consistency, their current form, and about that budget also because we are having right now a tight budget of 48 crore. So we need to buy at least 14 players to pick from the squad. But so we consider the budget aspect also, and we give a focus on fitness of the player because it's going to be a long tournament. 21 matches will be there. So we need some fitness from players as well, and also we created a good backup side. If any player is getting injury, the backup side can take the responsibilities of the team. So for opening thing, we have considered Johnny Bairstow at a cost of 9 crore. Because what we analyze, everyone will go for David Warner or Shikhar Dhawan or Quinton de Kock or like some major name. So I think in case of that, their purse will get shorter and we can get Johnny Bairstow at 9 crore maximum. And Johnny Bairstow can give a right hand combination to Venkatesh Iyer, and his average is like 41 in IPL. Also, his strike rate will be around 141 or 142. So it's a very good for opening thing. So that's why we picked Johnny Bairstow. And
Okay,
for
Raya, I'll
our
stop you
team,
there. We want to get little bits from all of you there. So you've given us a possible opening combination. Let me get Venki Mysore into this as a reaction. My first reaction was, if all of you have heard Johnny Bairstow speak, the first challenge will be him opening with Venkatesh Iyer, the communication between them.
No, I think it's an interesting choice. So would you want him to be the wicketkeeper as well? Is that your thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, because people will target David Warner as the opening thing first. So I think Johnny Bairstow can be available easily, compared to other openers.
Anyone else who hasn't
one more issue
spoken?
is that the Australian players are playing in Pakistan, I think, for the first 5 to 7 matches.
Yeah, they
And Warner
won the
is
game.
part of their test squad, so he will not be available, which is why when my team was also making our strategy, we were looking at Warner or Cummins as captaincy options. Because Cummins has been with KKR before, and Warner has a great success ratio with SRH as captain, along with him being an explosive opener. But because he isn't available, I don't think we can have a captain who or an opener who may not be available. So that may err us from choosing Warner in the start. Isn't Besto also going for a series towards the later
He will miss the later half, I guess. Yes.
Bairstow is not picked up in the England test squad. Bairstow and Josh Butler will be available.
Okay.
Archie, on the money. Are you in touch with all the international selectors?
The recent England announced the squad for the recent series, and in the squad Johnny Bairstow is not there.
Okay, don't worry. I was just taking a trip. I'm trying to make up for the absence of Shrikant. who actually, by the way, has just walked in.
They're all scared of you. They were clapping when they said you're not there.
Mohit, we haven't heard from you.
So yeah, one down we have Rahul Tripathi.
At 3 crore.
Yeah, we bid him for 3 crores because he was in KKR in the last season. He was doing brilliant for us and he's untapped. So we can get him for 3 crores maximum. So that's why we went for him at 3 crores.
Because
I don't see him going for minimum 3 crores because the way he performed for us,
Yeah, he will.
at
He
least
can
like
be used as a future.
minimum 5 crores.
Minimum of 4 to 5. So
Five.
for us, we looked at someone like Nitish Rana because Rana has been in the setup. Rana is a hard hitter as well. And along with Rana, we looked at someone like a Manish Pandey.
Yeah, I also predicted that Manish Pandey is also a great captaincy option for KKR. At number 4 would be Manish Pandey can bat well, play innings of an anchor, build the innings. And his captaincy records are very good for Karnataka in the domestic circuit.
And also Manish Pandey.
Abhishek, thoughts on number 3 position? I think a lot of the teams that we looked at, one of the common factors other than Ishan Kishan was Rahul Tripathi.
Well, I think the only question I have for you all is, have you kept options in the sense that if Rahul Tripathi doesn't go at 3 crores or he goes more than that, and if Manish Pandey goes more than 5 crores, then what?
I think I want to add some point because KKR can have only one overseas batter, but if we look at the other team, they might use some overseas at number 3 because they don't have the restriction. Most of the franchise retained Indian players, so overseas quotas are they have lots of overseas choice in their team. So most of the team, at least for 3 to 4 teams, will target overseas batter at number 3, and that's why we can get Rahul Tripathi easily in the squad.
Which teams
Because
do you,
KKR can't use overseas at that point, so at that position.
which teams do you think will use an overseas batsman at number 3?
Mumbai Indians can go for it because they are having Rohit Sharma as an experienced opener. So if Rohit Sharma is batting at opening, so they can go for overseas at number 3 or number 4.
Have they done it in the past? Have they ever done that in the past 5 years? Have they played an overseas batsman at number 3 or 4?
Who?
Mumbai Indians?
Mumbai Indians.
The one with Surya Kumar.
I guess once Aaron Lewis played down the order for Mumbai Indians. For once,
No, he opened. He used to open for him.
And now they are left out of Ishan Kishan's choice because they couldn't retain Ishan Kishan. So if they are looking for a quality batter, either they will send Surya Kumar Yadav or some overseas at number 3.
Exactly. So if they're using an Indian batsman, then why not Rahul Tripathi and Surya Kumar Yadav at 4? If they've never done it in the past 4 years and won championships, why would they change that and play a...
Will take a wicket keeper as well. So if they are picking mostly they will target Quinton de Kock again because he was their squad for long. So I think their first choice will be for Quinton de Kock or anyone if they are looking for a wicket keeper position, it might be Nicholas Puran as well. So if they are looking for an opener, he can come at number 4.
So if they pick Quinton de Kock, he will bat at number 4.
No, I'm telling about if you talk about Mumbai Indians, why I'm thinking so. So I'm just giving, I thought like that. So they can send Sky at number 4 and they can take any wicketkeeper batter at number 3. Like how they maintain the combination on last couple of years.
Okay.
I think the only one we haven't heard from so far is Sohaib.
at the same point, when we were discussing the team with Mohit and Kristen, so we are discussing to get Tim Stewart in the middle order as well, but the restrictions for the overseas players came up. Maybe if he comes in, he's gonna be a bit expensive. He can go to 1.5 crores, and then maybe he won't be in the playing 11 until someone performs badly or some kind of issue comes. And secondly, getting Manish Pandey and Nitish Rana in the 5-6 crore area will help us in the batting order as well. If the playing level that we gave had Venkatesh Iyer opening up with Rahane. So if Rahane gets out, Manish Pandey can come at number 3 as well. So the left-right combination will also be there.
Yeah, just to add in, even our team had Ajinkya Rahane as a very unconventional pick, simply because we were keeping in mind stability and someone who could score a 30 ball 40 or something in a slow chase. For example, last season, as we had against DC in the eliminator, when we needed around 13 runs in 24 balls and there was a slight collapse, we had Tripathi bail us out then. So maybe someone stable as well as someone I personally think would come at a lower cost and someone who's hungry to prove himself in this IPL, considering his past performances, how his images with the Test team currently. And I think Rahane is someone who does really well when he's given the freedom to play, the freedom to express himself, and that is exactly how Baz likes his players to play with intent, to play freely, to play, express themselves. And I think Rahane would be a great unconventional pick who we may be able to get at the steal to solidify the middle order a bit as well as play that little bit express innings maybe in the power play if there's a big wicket or so.
I'll just get Abhishek in here because of all the teams, this was the one name I think that was unique. I talked about team players like Tripathi who were common to all teams. Ajinkya Rahane was pretty much one of the unique names that these two teams picked up.
No, it's an interesting pick, but what I want to understand from y'all, if y'all have Ajinkya Rahane, where would you bat him in the batting order?
I'll open him with Venki Iyer straight away.
The main reason why we chose Rahane to open and to start off is to have a stability at the start. The thing is, if we have someone like him at the start, we have someone like Venki Iyer who can go out and express himself very freely. And we have Rahane who can stabilize the ship and be like an anchor along the way. So if Venki happens to fall, you have someone like a dynamic player like a Rahane to come in, a Rana to come in, or you have someone like a Manish Pandey. So, having someone at the top just to, avoid the control, just get along with the proceedings, get singles here and there, just keep the runs going, is someone who I feel we would need and someone who can help us to guide the innings for at least the first 6-7 overs, hopefully.
Plus, he can fill us our captaincy shoes, sir.
Yeah.
Like for 2-3 years. And I have a stat to assist him that he's been averaging 50 plus in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, the recently concluded one.
It was the third highest run getter.
So I won't be he's not only will play like a anchor. Once he's setting, he plays 20-30 balls, then he can accelerate the innings.
Then having a captain lead from the start, also from the top, gives us a little of a flashback to when we have Gautam leading us. So something like that is also playing on our minds when we thought about someone like Rahane.
So when our team looked at it personally, we kept him at number 3 or number 4. DC used him at number 3 last year, behind Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw. Behind Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw when they were playing. We looked, just going back to that discussion, we kept Punit de Kock as our opening batsman simply because we like two aggressive openers at the top who just hit hard and go at it from the start and try to maximize the first 6 overs of the power play. We understand it's two left-handers, but I think QDK justifies his selection simply by his style of play, and we also chose him as our captain for that reason because unlike the other overseas choices, he's going to be there for all the matches from South Africa. He's captained South Africa before, and he himself is like an intent-based aggressive cricketer, which I think suits McCallum and KKR's culture, and that's the culture in which white ball cricket is moving. And that kind of leadership may be strong at the top. So we had actually picked UDK at 1 with Venki Dope and with Rahane or Tripathi 4. If you don't get
so you think that is go
this
for
player,
like 8 crores?
it was my team's personal.
I love the energy in there. Janvi, let me get you in.
Crores.
I want you to react to the kind of energy because I was witness to it, Srikanth was witness to it, talking to all of them, seeing the kind of planning that they're doing, anticipation with other teams, looking at international calendars.
Yeah, you guys have really done your homework. Like, this is really impressive because this is the sort of planning that all of us also sit and do. Because you have to sit and look at what everyone else is coming into the auction with, who they've got, what their team combinations have been like in the past. But you guys have completely, thought about all of that, and it's amazing to see how passionate all of you are because all of you seem to really love cricket and love KKR, and I mean it's so nice listening to you guys.
One more follow-up question to you, Janvi, which is in relation to what they all said. How important is an X factor which has nothing to do with money, budgets, talent, how you bat, the stats you've had coming in? I even brought Srikanth into this, and how important, and he gave Varun Chakravarti as an example, that in history, can you talk about someone where you ignored all the other facts and figures and you said, we just have a feeling about this guy? What's your take on that?
I mean, yeah, Varun is an amazing example, but also Andre, of course, is has been an X factor for KKR since 2014, 2015 almost. And despite whatever, may have happened in the past, you still, whenever he walks onto the field, you still think something magical could happen. And that's something which KKR, I think, sort of embodies because every time we walk onto our team walks onto the field, I never feel like no matter what the game situation is, even if the other teams put 230 on the board, because we have players of this caliber, we have Varuns, we have Andres, I never feel like we can't win the game because we're a very entertaining team. We've got lots of explosive players, and even if the stats don't back that all the time, I still feel like we can go out and win the game no matter what the situation is. So X factors definitely are so important in a T20 team.
And one more factor for all of you to throw at our new bowling coach, fast bowling coach. Delighted to have him on board. And you had a few interesting names to throw. So maybe you can sum up 2 key names that you wanted, and I'll get Bharat Arun to react to it.
So may I?
Please.
So, like in the 2018-19 season, I've seen that we weren't able to pick wickets inside the power play somehow. Now that I wanted to fix, and how about going for a left-handed pacer to start with Trent Bolt?
I think that's a pretty interesting take because Trent Bolt has been successful and he's been up front. He's been getting a lot of wickets. He's been very effective in the power plays. So I think it's a very interesting choice.
Yeah, and another
So we
player
are
we
able to
thought.
get him. We will add Marco Jansen.
Yeah,
And
we also
Yeah, we also selected him. Like,
Yeah, we thought about Marco Jansen because he's like young and he can give us a lot of seasons. He's like one of the best prospects in the world right now. So that's why we chose him.
One slight problem, Eden Gardens dressing room, the door hasn't been fitted for Marco Jansen. So we'll have to spend a little bit of more money trying to fix the Eden dressing room. He can't enter otherwise.
Exceed the salary cap.
So
I
think
would
about
say
these things
he
before
can
you
bounce
find.
and come into the room.
Give one more name. One more name to one more bowling name.
So I would go for a premium Indian fast bowler who has a lot of experience. So we looked out at the options we had. So I want to personally go with Mohammad Shami.
Then he's someone you worked with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Another option is like Deepak Chahar.
Before his prime.
He's like one of the best bowlers, right?
But Deepak Chahar will be on everybody's wish list.
why
He will be on everybody's hit list. It's now.
So
So
Vidiman
in
Shami can
first,
also come
I
at 5 or
can
6.
What?
I can tell you that Chahal won't go for less than like 9-10 crores. He'll fetch 10 crores minimum. So it's better we go for like Shami.
You
So
feel
one name
Chahal
that
will
is
go for
straight
10
from the
and Shami will go for less?
I guess not less than like 3-4. At least he'll fetch minimum 4. But we can get him between the window of 4 to 6.
the
I
point
mean,
of Shami is the 2 minutes that we get with him.
Sorry?
The point of Mohammad Shami is the experience that he brings in and the wicket taking abilities. That's something in the power play that I feel we've missed out, and I feel that we can do it. We've seen it, the potential in the second half. I feel that we can do it with him, and someone like him and someone like Trent Bolt leading the attack would be something very dangerous. Looking
can be little.
the view.
I think
We
you
should
guys.
just hear Lockie Ferguson and Deepak Chahar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lockie Ferguson has an extreme pace. He can bowl very well. He was in the KKR setup last year. Lockie Ferguson is a good choice. Deepak Chahar can also bat at number 8. If we want some hitting at the last, Deepak Chahar can also bat at number 8. So Deepak Chahar is a good option, a swing bowling option. He can bowl very well in the power plays. And one is Chetan Sakaria also. Chetan Sakaria's Yorkers are very good. Recently debuted for India. Chetan Sakaria is also a very good option.
Oh, love it. Love it. I love the fact that you've got options, you've got energy, you've got passion, and I think it's something that everybody here in the think tank is taking on board. So before we thank all of you, I'd like to say thank you to Janvi, to Abhishek, to Arun, to Venki Mysore, to A.R. Srikanth, if he's listening. He's in the room, don't worry. He's in the room. But final word from our CEO and Managing Director, Venki.
Well, I'm quietly listening to all of you, and first of all, thank you for all the efforts that you put in. And obviously, as Janvi said, you're all very passionate about the game, about KKR, and the kind of homework you seem to have done, rattling off statistics, and coming up with interesting ideas, X factor, and all that. But so congratulations to all of you for putting in the effort, and we hope that we'll be able to take some of your ideas and build it into what we've been thinking. And when the auction, I'm sure you'll all be glued to the TV starting tomorrow. And when we pick somebody that you have suggested, put out a tweet or something so we can all feel good that it was a suggestion that came from you. Last but not least, I must say, the team said that they want a X factor. For me, the X factor that I want on my team is Raya. She is holding on, she's 6 guys, intimidating her. She's not phased at all. She was holding firm and coming up with her ideas, and we'll excuse you for wearing that yellow, Raya, but not everybody is perfect. So, so well done, all of you.
We'll take our revenge with yellow.
Yeah, all of you, very well done, and really good thinking. I must say, good thinking, good ideas, and you're thinking about budgets and how to plan. So we have, I think, quite commendable what you've all come up with. So very well done. Thank you for your participation.
Woo!